Oh, yeah, it's not a podcast, it's a Slamcast. With our TLC preview edition, Takeover NXT.
Yes.
Man, we got a jam-packed show. I'm not even going to bother doing any sorts of funny things for the intros or anything else like that because we got to get right down to business.
Yep.
It's a really big show going into the holidays. Man, happy Hanukkah to all our Jewish brethren out there.
And to everyone else, happy Christmas.
Yeah, man. So I can't believe TLC is like this Sunday. We're gonna talk about that later.
Yes. We'll talk about Takeover. We'll talk about it all. But we got. Let's go. That'll be the main event.
That's the main event of the evening. I guess we should talk about the elephant in the room. That is continuing sagging Raw ratings. We are joined by special.
Shouldn't we do introductions because we have Miguel on?
We do.
Thanks for ruining the intro.
That's what he was getting to.
Yeah, he was just about to get to that, Dave.
My bad. I'm English. I live 15 years behind the rest of you.
Thanks, Dave. We have joining us on the show, Miguel Leon. Hi, Miguel.
Yeah,
So good.
Hey. Yeah, I know. I was expecting. I'm like, oh, that's nice. He's good. Yeah, we've got him here on the show, you guys.
I know. Trying to see what I deal with on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
I miss it.
That's not entirely true, is it? Because you haven't been around for the last week.
It's been a while
It's
for
been a
me,
while.
but I've been meaning to get back with the crew, and just our schedules have been just
haven't
not
lined up,
properly.
Well,
But hopefully as things get moved around, hopefully things can line up. I'd love to keep doing this, man, because like you mentioned, with the ratings being the way they are, it's been a very tepid time for professional wrestling as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it's becoming. I've said this, it's entering the creative lull, and a lot of people are not watching TV the same traditional way. Like, look how many people are abandoning the cable model.
Yep.
As far as their media.
I'm going to debate you on that, and the reason I'm going to say that is because it has been the case for a while. I mean, you could even compare the ratings from like 2 years ago and see that they aren't, as high as they used to be. But I think this is probably one of the few times since the slow decline where it seems like it's been really quick. Like, ratings have been going down, but they've been going down very slowly as technology has been evolving. But this is one of the few times that I can honestly think of where there's been such a steep decline in such a small amount of time. And I think that's what's getting people worried. It isn't the fact that the ratings are going down, because that's always been the case. It's the fact that they're going down so drastically at a time when you really don't have many stars at the moment. Cena's off filming his stuff for Fox,
Right.
and the stuff that he's doing
Randy's
for movies.
out.
Brian, who knows if he'll ever be back, or the story with
and
that.
now you bring that up. I was messaging Leslie. She was bringing this up that Brian said that his career may be over in WWE.
Even Brian's saying that now?
Yeah, because WWE Doctor hasn't cleared him. I don't know what's happened with the third one, but he's said he could always find a new, passion, but, it's sad because it's something he's been passionate about since he was 5.
That would be tragic, because he really was the last real guy to really crack through the glass ceiling. And I know that's a cliche, but he's really the one big guy since 2006 with John Cena that the fans really
CM
got behind.
Punk in 2011 after the pipe bomb promo, and
yeah,
but again, he committed the cardinal sin. He got over without WWE's help.
Yeah,
it
really
Zack
was.
Ryder. Although now apparently he's dating Emma, so
I can't feel bad for him.
Yeah,
it's really unfortunate because we'll
Good
talk about
this. Good on you, mate. Good on you.
we'll
She's a
talk
fine
about this.
Sheila, that bird. She's a fine Sheila.
Oh man.
We'll talk more about this when we get to the main event for TLC.
Yeah.
But
Couldn't you argue, quick tangent, a good tangent that actually does relate to this before you chew me up, Brendan? Couldn't you argue that some of the fact that the viewing figures may be going down is because people don't view, TV like Brandon said as they did years ago? So the irony being, or the elephant in the room being, what I love it, and it's how I watch WWE. They've necessarily, to some degree, shot themselves in the foot by introducing this wonderful web service, if that makes sense. Because
yes
it was
and
necessary
no.
step.
Yeah,
Did
that
they
may have
understand the
some
risk?
reasons, but
Yeah,
we're talking about the live ratings.
Right.
And WWE, the way they have it set up is it's not like Hulu where once the show is live, it only takes 24 hours to move to the network. It takes about a month.
yeah, and that's
So
the part of the issue.
yeah, but what I'm
there-
talking about, like,
I mean-
lazy viewers like me, because mainly I'm too cheap to buy the actual package for my satellite. But lazy viewers for me, like me, sorry, rely on the network. So I can see that there's a substantial chunk of the audience out there who rely on this, and that would, draw, people
here's
away
the
from
thing,
watching
though.
it live.
Here's the thing. There's always been a point ratings wise to where you could always count on a certain hardcore fan base to constantly watch it and keep the ratings up. There's a certain dipping point that you can always guarantee that the WWE will usually never go down because there's always that consortium of fans that will always watch it. The hardcore guys like us who claim that we're never going to watch it, but we watch it every single week.
It's like, oh, like that promo Triple H once. Oh, me and my friend Mark are gonna quit watching. Yeah, we'll see you next week, buddy.
Yeah, and this is where I think a lot of people are worried is because it's starting to look like that angle of the fan base might be the ones causing this downpour, and that is not a good sign because I think back to, and I've read this book back and forth, like 3 or 4 times recently, The Death of WCW. When you think of WCW 2000, when their hardcore fan base started to leave, and when they left, that's when things started to kind of worry.
Well,
and I don't think business wise WWE is ever going to get that far because their production and their philanthropy and their advertising is so strong, they'll never go out of business ever.
Right.
But you do have to wonder what the slow ratings are going to mean to the on-screen product. Is it going to be a situation like it was in '97 where things got so bad
they
completely shook up the market?
And part of it was that they upped their pay-per-view prices from, I think it was like $20 to $30 or whatever it was. So but they had to step their game up because they had WCW kicking their ass every week.
Yeah.
So,
and I think people are just eyeing it to see, like, what is WWE going to do? Are they going to continue resting on their laurels when it comes to storylines and whatnot?
there comes
really a very lazy product at the moment. Or are they going to actually start putting more effort into filling up the 3 hours with compelling TV? Because I don't know about you guys, but I don't watch Raw because I don't have cable. But even if I did, I don't think I could watch 3 hours of,
I did on Monday night because I allegedly had a hooky stream. Thank you, Mr. Fairhand. But
allegedly,
and
we don't endorse.
Yeah. But
you don't need to endorse it because it was allegedly.
Fuck it. And
I think again, we've said this before. I think that's the problem with the product right now is Raw is 3 hours, and that's a hard thing to just sit through.
No.
Especially nowadays with the NFL competing.
Not for much longer, but the part of it
is
why
I say
that's not a lot of compelling programming. That's the problem.
And here's why I debate that. Honestly, another reason is because you think back to the late 90s, and I'll go. Don't let me explain.
Yes.
You had a 2-hour product where there were like 20 things happening in a span of 2 hours, and WWE made it work. And that was being written by one guy. In 2015, you have a dozen writers and a 3-hour product, and nothing happens. very little, if
Right.
anything, happens in those 3 hours. I've tried watching the 90-minute cutoffs for Hulu because Hulu has it at
Yeah.
90 minutes. They have edited, it's edited down to 90 minutes, and I can't make it through there. And even that at 90 minutes, it's a slog to go through because nothing happens. It's meaningless matches that are very 50-50 and long, drawn out
Right.
in ring promos, and nothing, no story development, no character development. I don't understand how you can have that in a 3-hour product when you have guys that have written major TV, because they have guys that have written for Breaking Bad, Sons of Anarchy. These are people that can write compelling television, and they have all the
I
tools to
think
do
part
it.
of it is that the guys that they should be listening to when they throw ideas should know wrestling. I think that's part of it. I think because it was like all of a sudden I remember there was a random backstage segment with Neville and Miz, which I laughed at because I made a comment like, okay, who is this fucker and why should I care? But I don't know. I think Miz getting passed over for Neville in some TV role is actually kind of funny. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden you had a tag match featuring Team Bad, and then all of a sudden New Day.
I think it's what they say. They're finally listening to what people want. I mean, people were chanting for weeks and weeks, "We want Sasha, we want Sasha."
And then you
And
had
now
been saying that they should put New Day and Team Bad together, and look what happened. They come out, I got a figure in, and it's like, oh, I think I just heard Brandon just orgasm.
Oh my
Yeah.
God! I mean, you can literally, you don't have to watch Raw. You can literally just watch pretty much what New Day is doing and just get the gist of it. I mean, again, this week an awesome promo. They had Unicorn.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't say that episodes of Raw are fundamentally bad per se at this point.
Yeah, because we have New Day.
Right.
And New Day
but the problem with Raw nowadays is they have all the potential to have 3 hours of good, solid storytelling. They have the great matches, but the matches mean nothing. And they just, I don't know if it's laziness. I don't know if it's Vince McMahon is just, I know people say he's out of touch, but I've always equated Vince McMahon in 2015 to like, oh, I don't know if it's Steve Ditka or Mike Ditka, the famous football coach. When they brought him back in the 90s, I believe, one of these teams decided to bring him back, and it flopped horribly. Like, some guys were good back in the day, and they had a good mindset, but eventually time gets to you, and I think a guy like Vince, who does have the power to just rewrite everything on a whim,
that's the problem.
I think
and then
you need to get a guy like that.
Is he going to? Because I think the elephant in the room right now is with these flagging ratings.
No.
Are they going to, accept it and understand that they need to, change their game, or because I personally think Vince McMahon, while he has the potential to rewrite everything on a heartbeat, is kind of so old school that he's just one of those people that will just plow on.
He's not going to retire till the day after he dies. That's Vince.
But you know what I'm saying, though? I think he's going to be one of those people that just plows on with his current mindset, which will damage it.
I think that's what they're gonna do, and like you see that now. And this week's big talking point for all the rating talk was, oh, people were walking out of Monday Night Raw because it was so terrible.
Yeah, because the ending was they had one last match, which was Dreamer and Strowman. And by the way, the video of Bray and Braun Strowman singing Sasha Banks' theme is hilarious. It's so weird, strange, but I couldn't help but like it. I mean, oh yeah. By the way, Rhino came back, which I think of course, because I figured it was gonna be Rhino or RVD, and then Bubba Ray posted on Twitter, "It's just the beast under your bed." I'm thinking they're not. No. There's no way they've got Sandman, and of course it was
in 2015. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean that was just me hoping, but and then I look back like Beast. Rhino is known as the Man Beast. Should have fucking figured that out.
Yeah, well, I figured that was going to be the case because Rhino was already signed to the Performance Center.
It was either going to be him or Van Dam. Yeah, I figured it's going to be Rhino or Van Dam. Which, don't get me wrong, we had a brief moment in a 16-man Fatal 4-Way Elimination Tag match where it was Rhino and Roman facing off in the ring, and it was like, this could be good. This could be good.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was I didn't watch that match. I came into Raw like a little late this week.
Right.
But I heard about that match and I was like, oh wow, that's something they haven't done in a while, or ever. I think something have 16 guys in one match come out there. That's a good way. I think they had a good way to start the show. I think 3 hours is what's killing the
Right.
ratings because
Yeah.
Because it's like
you know
always that
But
third hour. It's always that third hour.
I think
Yeah.
for me, it's always the second hour.
yeah, how many episodes of Raw do people just look at and go, "This would have been a great Raw if it was
Mhm.
2 hours"?
And
Because
and
I think
looking back,
they have enough content for like 90. If Raw was cut in half, like the 90 minutes, like Hulu, if you just took the best aspects of an episode of Raw, you'd have that 90-minute cutoff. But unfortunately, whoever edits the Raw episodes for Hulu doesn't know how to edit because it's basically don't bother, guys.
They take. I've watched some in comparison. Like I was in comparing the two Raws. Like I went to go watch the Hulu Raw because my DVR deleted something else. Um, and they put a weird, like, I went to go watch, like, thinking I was watching this segment and I didn't see this segment. I was just like, this is interesting that they would cut this out when I thought this was a really interesting and poignant and entertaining part of the show.
They'll
Yeah.
leave the 20-minute Roman Reigns intro in, but they'll take out a Dean Ambrose match is basically how it works with Hulu.
Yeah, or something else, a really good, interesting backstage moment will get cut for a match that meant nothing.
yeah. See, and that's the
Yeah.
problem. You had there, and I read they put out the survey, and I did actually. The Solid Monster posted it and did like a 10-question thing on just for his podcast, and it was answering that there are too many matches from his fan base, which I don't know how much it crossed over with ours. I know me and Miguel listened to that show, but and I remember, and I took the survey, and it was a lot of people. There were too many matches that meant nothing. No one gives a shit about celebrity guest hosts, which like random celebrity appearances that really meant nothing.
I think. Well, I think that's the celebrity thing is something that we have to deal with now because WWE is an entertainment product.
It's nowhere near as bad as it was with the guest hosts that
Some
they had
of them were
several years
were kind of funny, honestly. There were some that I kind of tolerate, like Bob Barker. I can't hate Bob Barker. Period.
No,
there were highlights, but as a concept, it just was. It had no legs to really stand on long term.
But
See, it doesn't. But I think that's part and parcel of modern media failure. If that makes sense, which is the bloke in suit at the top just think we must have a name attached.
Yeah, and maybe
to
bring in a celebrity that fans want to see, and not Granny breaking a wine bottle over another woman's ass.
Yeah, you could tell the ones that were just there. Yeah, you could tell that there were a few celebrities that did it just because WWE had a deal with said
or they
celebrity
just
at the time,
to be
like
in the same city.
Yeah, like the one that always stands out for me is the Dennis Miller one. Like, I get it, you were doing tribute to the troops at the time, and he was doing a guest spot, and Miller does a lot of military stuff, but that was a fail.
Which I saw when they had the guest, the guest musical act, and it was Train. Like, why should I give a fuck about Train? Like, I don't. I'm sorry. Hefty Bag, really?
Train isn't even a good mainstream band. Like,
I'm surprised it's 2015 and Train are still around.
I'm sorry. 2 words: Hefty Bag. Yeah, I need a Hefty Bag to fucking
throw
up in. Bring back
if it was Nickelback, I could suffice. I'd be like, I don't like them, but they're popular, or Fall Out Boy or something. Like, I can understand that.
They've
but
used Nickelback theme song for Raw. They've used the Fall Out Boy 2K14. Bring back Florida Georgia Line. I don't care. I thought, maybe the last time they were on was a complete waste because they flip-flopped the title the next night. But besides the point, I've talked about that on the show.
When you say Nickelback, I know we shouldn't do tangents, but this is quite important. Is it true that Kroger's not plowing Levine
No, they
anymore?
broke up.
No, they're married still.
Oh,
really?
I believe so.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm just saying that. Carry on, but that's disappointing.
My point is
he doesn't
that
deserve her.
When it comes to the ratings, I think as a fan, people are paying attention to it because this is kind of the first time our disdain for the product is actually starting to reflect in the real world, and there is hope that there could be more effort put into the product overall. But my biggest fear is that they're kind of they're going to rest on their laurels and they're going to go in the opposite direction and think, okay, let's not go for the fans. Let's just keep doing what we're doing. We can get the sponsors. We can get advertisements, charities.
Because we're just getting ready to go into TLC. We're still a little bit before the Rumble, so.
Yeah, I think that they're hoping that by WrestleMania things will start to
Which
pick
it
up.
usually does, because
but
by the time the Rumble comes around, Monday Night Football's done, so they can't blame that anymore. You know.
Well, let's see. 2016 might be an interesting year. I hope it.
I think you know what it is they need something to happen to the product that's going to get people to want to tune in and get like, oh my god, this is happening on Monday Night Raw.
When
So
I was first watching as a fan, there were times I couldn't wait to see what happened next week, and that was when Raw and even SmackDown. I went back and I watched that one with that was headlined by Cena versus Rhino. The loser watched their mouth out with soap match, Mohegan Sun Casino, which was a great match with Cena and Rhino, and then Heyman got what was coming to him, and it was like there was actual continuity here. Seemed like the actual the guy you wanted to see get his in the end got his in the end. Heyman got a bar of soap shoved down his throat. Benoit had.
I think the last year
Benoit had Heyman in the sharpshooter, and Cena's feeding him soap. Hell of a visual.
I think the last year I actually felt excited for the product was probably 2013, and that was because of the rise of the Shield and the rise of Daniel Bryan.
Where the hell would Raw be without the Shield?
Really, 2 years ago?
Yeah, I mean those.
I said is I've thanks to you guys, I've embraced this product a lot later than you. But really, 2 years ago was when you kind of gave up on it.
Because after a while, it just it felt.
It didn't matter what happened.
Yeah, and I think
they got forced into putting the title on Bryan at WrestleMania, and then he got hurt.
Yeah.
So they had to default back. To
and I also
I guess in my defense, then, by the way, why I'm not on the same page as you guys is because obviously. Because I'm late to the party, I don't see the whole background. So, good point. I get that.
Also, keep in mind, I think 2013, wasn't that the year where WWE started to acknowledge the fans more? Wasn't that the year of the Fandangoing?
Everyone,
that was the year that
WWE turned out, too. They had something there. They have Jericho put him over at WrestleMania in his first match, and then, what the fuck?
My bigger point was that was the first year.
Can I just interrupt you really, really quickly?
Is it going to be a tangent?
No, it's not a tangent. Okay. It's relevant to this.
Okay, go ahead.
Chill. Because, like I said, I'm new to the party. The Fandangoing. What?
Yeah,
YouTube it.
Man.
YouTube it.
The theme song went to number 3 on iTunes in the UK too.
Yeah, it was a night after WrestleMania moment.
The Raw after Mania
that was actually the one that started.
I think, and like I said, at this year, I think they jumped the fucking shark. Not only were some of the chants, at Natty, you suck, Tyson, classless motherfuckers for one. 2, when they started chanting, we are awesome, they've jumped the fucking shark.
You know what? I'm willing to give them a little bit more solace because at least somebody is showing some actual.
It has been lethargic. There's been a lot of dull moments in the crowd, and that has even turned me off of the thing. I think there's been aspects of the presentation that they really need to step up. Commentary team needs to get a little more suffice.
I think the constant, constant replay. Well, by the way, speaking of replays, A Lucha Underground's coming back January 27th. 2, the constant fucking replays. They show replay for a random drop. We just saw this 2 seconds before. The constant talking about what's either coming up in the show or what the fuck just happened. It's too much talking.
I think you know what it is. I think they need to, and I've been a big fan of this guy my entire life in wrestling. I think they really need to get rid of Jerry the King Lawler. I think he's really
on SmackDown. He's not even on Raw.
Becoming. I think he's even becoming more of a detraction to any program that he's on. It's because he's on pay-per-views too.
Okay, yeah.
We still have him on pay-per-views.
Yeah, it's.
Well, even then, when it comes to announcing, they really. There's no real storytellers when it comes to announcing. Michael Cole is there just to be a shill. Byron Saxton and Rich Brennan are just
because
there
they need fresh
Cole
on there.
look. I think Byron is still
Yeah.
learning
I don't know.
his role. There's a
I
lot
think
of
that's. I
there's a
think
lot of
I'm.
potential
That's
there.
why I like Corey Graves on NXT. When he had to retire because of the concussion, he gets his commentary gig, and he was really fucking good. There are times where he makes me fucking laugh.
Yeah.
But
Here's the thing, though. As much as I like Corey Graves, if they put him on TV, I don't think his personality is going to be able to shine through because I think because of the fact that the commentary is so stifled by
Yeah.
McMahon and Kevin Dunn in their ears, I don't. Everybody says like, "Oh, Corey Graves should be
No.
brought
Oh,
up." It's like,
oh
why?
God. You want to?
Why bring him up? He's just going to be told to just say this, don't say that. Use this inflection, and he's going to be broken into line just like Byron Saxton. I don't think Byron Saxton
No.
is a
Renee
bad
Young.
announcer.
Neither was Renee
I
Young.
think he's just not
Yeah.
used to
I
being on the
think
big screen.
that's
He's not
part of
used
the
to being in the
problem.
big
Is like
stage.
Vince is constantly micromanaging everything. He's also got Bucky Beaver next to him in his ear. He's not gonna let guys any kind of free even.
It's
Yeah.
not be yourself.
Yeah,
It's
it's like
paint by
like
numbers.
no
Yeah.
bullet points. Just fucking tell him. Okay, don't cuss it. Okay, plug the network. Plug like really. The '92 Rumble, and I'm actually gonna go back and watch the '93 Survivor Series. That 8-man elimination match because of Bobby Heenan's commentary. But I was like, his commentary on that was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I just
I think
you
Oh
couldn't do
God,
Bobby
no.
Heenan today. There is
yeah.
no way.
The only guy I could
Sponsors-
think of that WWE needed to keep a leash on when it came to his commentary was probably Matt Stryker because post WWE, I've heard his
Like Lucha Underground
commentary.
shit. Yeah,
He's too marky. Like he's one of these guys. Like
overexcited.
he plays to the he plays too much to the internet fan base, and you can't
Yeah,
do that too
there's a
much when it comes
difference,
to a big product
when
like that. You need a
like I
middle
remember
ground.
like I think it was Angelico who in Lucha Underground who did that insane dive into the ring or whatever it was, and you just hear Striker yell, "Holy shit!" Like there are times when that works, but if you do it too much, it's played out and you're
Yeah.
yeah.
Overplay your hand.
Yeah, like do yourself a favor, folks. If you're listening to this and you need an example of good commentary, Kevin
Yep.
Kelly and Steve Carino. I think those guys do a great job in Ring of Honor. I think they're a good middle ground between the processed Michael Cole commentary and the over the top independent
Yeah.
Matt Stryker commentary. Carino is a great, old school mind when
King
it
of
comes to
old
color
school, man.
commentary, and Kelly, yeah, he's really on his game as far as storytelling, but he's
Right.
not overbearing. Like I think those two guys really worked, and I'm really bummed with Carino's
Yeah, I was gonna bring that
retirement.
up. Hopefully,
Hopefully he'll
he's
be
healing
back
up
soon.
from that surgery, and it's unfortunate because here's another guy that because I listened to him in a Rob Dimension on was it Extreme Old School podcast, where the hell it was called, and I really enjoyed listening to this guy talk, and it's like, and I've watched his stuff at ECW. He was a hell of a hand in the ring, and it was like, this guy should have gotten a far bigger break than he did. I mean, I watched
Well, let me
the
ask.
match
Go ahead.
with I think it was Final Battle 2011, the one with Steen. It was like the Ladder War, wherever the hell it was in ROH. That was a fucking amazing match, and that was like, oh boy, like Carino was great. Steen showed how good he fucking is, and it's like, and now we've got Owens on the main Steen on the main roster. So
Let me ask you a question, and we can move on after this. But I do have you mentioned Kevin Dunn. Do you think WWE would benefit going more of a TV product a la Lucha Underground? Because Kevin Dunn, you say what you want about him politically as far as wrestling. My biggest problem with him as the head producer is the product as a whole looks the same as it did 20 years ago. There's no real change. It looks it's set up the same way, the same camera angles, the same style of background, the backstage segments that it was when it came out in 1993. And I think WWE at this point has distanced itself from wrestling so much. I think it could afford to go more of a backstage produced TV product.
I can make
a
a
la,
Wayne's World analogy on that right now, which is I think the biggest problem, and it's to be commended, what he's bought, to this sport to TV or this entertainment sport to TV. But I think the biggest problem holding back WWE right now is the classic, to quote Wayne's World, "We fear change." And I think if anything, we could do like, well, basically, sorry Vince, appreciate everything you've done, but step
Yeah, there
aside.
comes a point where, of course, Kevin doesn't have any power creating storylines and shit, thank God. But
Oh,
he
you think
probably
that?
has way too much input. Let's put it that way. But it's he's one of the old
Yeah.
he's one of the old dinosaurs that needs to go. I'm sorry, he's.
Yeah.
It's like I made this comment and it was. I think someone posted a picture of Dunn in another Facebook group, and I was like, caption this, and I said, Lucha Underground used how many replays and how many episodes? Because they used how many in season 1? Maybe 2? I can count on one hand how many they used.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I get what you're saying. They use the replay too much.
But the point I was trying to make was, it must be painful to let something go that you are, part and parcel and creator of. But there comes a time where
Yeah.
everyone must, look at themselves and just think, "Isn't my time done?"
I don't know how long
You know,
Vince has left, but I think he
like
needs
they can
just
look
to go
through.
spend more time with
I
his
don't.
grandkids.
I don't think he thinks that. I don't think he thinks that. I think he still thinks
Do
that
you think
it's.
he's in a? Do you think he's in a bubble and he just sees? He still perceives this entertainment sport as he did when he first created it. Is he?
I mean,
Yeah.
I think
Does
he
it,
looks at. I think he looks at how he's doing and he says, "Nope, I'm clearly
yeah.
still going in the right direction." Like,
So,
yes,
so basically, there's when it comes to his perception of what the product is right now, there is a clear sense of removal or
I think.
denial, I should
I
say.
think
I think
he
the word I'm looking for is
realizes.
denial.
I think he realizes. Yeah, I think he looks at the ratings and yes, he sees that the ratings are the lowest they are at all times. But he also looking at other aspects. The
Right.
company is in a good position.
Or as I said, I just don't
A
want to let
combination,
go.
I think.
It's. I
It's
think it's. I think it's also that we're also entering in the one of the most
Yeah, and
heavily injured
I even
periods that
said
they've
it
been in the
when
last 5 years.
Brian got
Look at how
hurt.
many big
It's
guys.
like we're seeing this real lack of depth in the main event because they want to focus on one guy,
Again, like,
and that one
yes,
guy has been Cena.
because because
Irish Foghorn
Sheamus is now
Leghorn.
your WWE champion. It just goes to show that that's how far
Hmm.
you're
Right,
lacking as far as
because
main event talent. That a guy who was normally in the mid card when all these other
all of a
guys are
sudden they
around
have their
is now your
Deus Ex
WWE champion.
Machina with the Money in the Bank in a sense.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
that. I love you just
and
referred to
I
that
said
as
because when
that.
Brian got hurt and they had to default back to Cena, it's like, well, because you only have really built up one guy to be a serious contender, and that is John Cena. You've put yourself in this position. Like when like you look in the Attitude
yeah.
era, and look how many guys were fighting, clawing. You had Austin, Rock, Triple H, Kurt Angle, Undertaker.
It's there was this list of like
The
legitimate
top
people that were
going for
legitimately
that in that upper
going
echelon.
going for the title. Yeah, going for the title or in
It's
matches.
um, it's just an analogy, not a tangent, but it comes back to that. As I say, this lack of
Yeah, when all of a
strikers, if you know
sudden,
what I mean, which is
Exactly. There's lack of punch. There's
because
no.
well,
Oh, sorry, I'm getting choked on my words.
no contingency.
There's no exactly. There was no backup plan for this, so
right,
we have to
because
go.
if
This is. I mean,
Do we think to some degree it's almost like it's kind of he's so set in place it's just like it feels like, well, I'm just going to ride my luck because
yeah,
something will always
exactly.
happen.
Exactly. I think that's exactly what he's doing. They're writing it out because at some point in time, something will happen. They will figure something out, a way to draw fans in. And I was just throwing around like
Oh my God, he's turned into Hitler in World War II.
3 or 4 ideas that will be the final solution
okay,
to get rid of the ratings
3 hours
problem.
of New Day, is that one of them?
Use
And the greatest thing that he's clearly, yeah, he's clearly missing the point, which I guess anyone in that situation in any company in the world, which is, and I know people say like, do as I say, not do as I do. Um,
uh, so they're gonna.
is
It's gonna
just
take.
fucking listen to the fucking fan base. You could,
It's
I know you don't want to, but they could fix this for you.
it's not that. It's gonna take a big moment, something that's like a groundbreaking, never before happened or hasn't happened in a while moment in wrestling to draw a lot of fans back to the product. And
Was it going to take the opposite of that? Because you raise a good point. It's going to take the opposite of that, which is a massive negative moment where it really, really crashes down around him, and he has to
Nope.
literally go,
Nope.
"Fuck, I need to change this."
It's not going to be that because it's. I mean that. I mean obviously yes. The first Raw without Vince McMahon, obviously people will watch. It will that will get people to come back to it just for that moment. But I don't know if those people will stay on 6 months beyond that. But things that could happen that will instantly draw people back to Raw because people will with social media the way it works nowadays, people will see that and they'll click back to it. Shane McMahon coming back to Monday Night Raw, even if I know he has probably wants nothing to do with the business, but I mean that would be moments like that. You put that on Monday Night Raw. Don't even advertise it. Don't even say Shane. This is going to be Shane McMahon coming back
All
to
of a
Raw.
sudden, here comes
Just
money.
do it.
Yeah,
And
then
the people that are watching will text and tweet their friends or whatever and say, "Turn on Monday Night Raw right now." Shane McMahon is doing, or if they do, they will take videos of their TV and send it to their friends, and it will get people.
That's a moment that'll give them a nice rating spike.
But
But how are you going to follow up with that?
They need to do something like that to get people drawn into it, to then see how that wave will then ride out. And
Could we almost say that they need to pull their ass out the head in the sense that they're living in another decade that doesn't work on TV anymore?
I don't think that they're. Here's the thing. I don't think that they're. You could say that they're delusional. I think at this point they're complacent. I think they know that they can rock the boat, but they don't want to because what they have right now is K Jewelers. What they have is Toys R Us. What they have is Mattel. What they have is Kmart. They don't want to. They don't want to do anything to risk losing those financial facets, even if it means the potential to make twice as much money. To quote CM Punk, Vince McMahon is a millionaire who could be a billionaire.
I think we just answered the question, which is now we know why they're going that way because, like you said, complacent. He's a millionaire, so therefore his
don't
wealth.
Make dollars. It don't make sense. All right.
Well, if you're in that position, your wealth to some degree does insulate you from your product.
There has been a rash. Moving on from this, there's been a rash now. This we talked about it very briefly because when there was that wave of fan violence in the WWE, it happened again this week.
Oh God, I've been waiting to talk about this because I saw this and I wanted to fucking smack his mother. Because so they're in Jacksonville, Florida, which I'm not shocked because there are a bunch of racist twats down there. But so what happened is Roman Reigns is in the ring.
Man,
yes,
Nick
I don't
going
give
straight
a shit.
for the heat
You're
with
the
Florida,
same
man.
state that has
Jeez.
George fucking Zimmerman. Fuck you. For what? So
here's my juggler. Swing.
Anyway, so Roman Reigns is in the ring, and all of a sudden you have a couple of kids yelling the N-word. They're basically calling him, and I quote, a nigger. So
this, by the way, right?
Yeah.
This shit made the news in this country, and I mean all the news. That stuff like you could normally anything could happen in this sport, but this stuff actually made every news channel in this country.
Yeah. So here's.
I mean, it's kind of a big deal.
Oh no, it is, but I'm just saying we're kind of in our bubble.
Pictures of these kids, but what happened was there were other fans around there yelling and telling the mother, discipline your fucking kids, basically. She wasn't doing anything. Security eventually, they throw the family out of the building, and the mother was more concerned about people taking pictures of her kids. Now, I would have also took a picture of the mother, because no one's born a fucking racist. Donald Trump wasn't born a xenophobic piece of shit. He learned that. You learn racism like that. So obviously the mother probably says it at home, and guess what? And that's what the kids learned, because your parents are your first teachers. So as far as I know, the mother's an awful fucking parent to begin with. And then
I don't know anything about this.
I'm sorry, I completely agree, Nick. You took the words out of my mouth right there.
I mean, look, I don't agree. Like, I don't know anything about this woman, so I'm not going to proclaim to judge anything about her. But it is a all around terrible situation, and it could have easily been rectified by just a parent being a little bit more
Well, yeah,
vigilant.
I don't know if she was just ignoring the other fans, she didn't give a shit, or and I make this comparison. At work one day, it was me and one other guy, and then we had it was like a mother, I think, another mother, and then like 4 kids. And the kids were running around the fucking restaurant screaming like there was milk drops all over the place, like it was a fucking mess. They wouldn't stop screaming. The parents are sitting right by one of the window and not doing anything. I'm thinking, just tell your kids to shut up, lady. And of course, I didn't say it because I'm not going to get in fucking trouble at work. But and then I got a customer come, so I'm like, probably
I totally
few
agree.
inches
One
from
of
his
my
face.
biggest.
I'm trying to hear what he's saying because these kids would not shut the fuck up. So it's like, you're really not gonna. You've got a kid dropping the N-bomb like that, and you're not gonna do anything. Hell, you got other fans are telling the parent to shut your kids up. And look, I know fans, they buy their ticket, they pay their ticket, they get to, yell stuff with the wrestlers, they get to boo who they want, they get to cheer for who they want. But as far as
yelling, calling
Yeah.
Roman Reigns a nigger. Is
Yeah, but
not-
it's like you said, Nick. It comes down to how you brought up. It's basic fucking social behavior.
Exactly. It happened.
If anything,
it happened to Alberto Del Rio this weekend in Puerto Rico. Alberto Del Rio gets jumped. I mean,
Like
I know
that,
Puerto
yeah.
Rico is the wild, wild west as far as wrestling goes.
If anything,
but
you shouldn't hate the kids because even though it's offensive, they're not technically doing anything
that
wrong
pretty much
because they
sums it up
don't
right
know
there.
any better.
Well, let me just kind of piggyback on.
defend your state because
As the
Mitch was
official
going in.
Slamcast representative of the state of Florida, I'd like to
Is it true you all wear your pants up to your nipples? Just asking, sorry.
Depends on what coast you're on.
Depends on the weather.
Yeah, it depends on the location, but yeah, let me just say, as far as Jacksonville, it is kind of a shithole. There's that whole Jacksonville, Tallahassee, Pensacola, Panhandle, like upper Florida area is it's basically southern Georgia. I mean, it's about as deep south as you can get until you hit about Florida, and then it's weird. Like everything north of Orlando is basically we call southern Georgia, and everything.
So I don't want to make a broad statement, but are you
Yeah,
basically
it's
saying it's
those
redneck
types.
time for those of us in England?
Yes, yeah. North of Orlando, like Gainesville, Jacksonville, Tallahassee, Pensacola, that's as deep south as you can get. Everything below them, like Melbourne, Tampa, St. Petersburg, and Miami, it's basically northern Cuba. So I'm not surprised that Jacksonville
like Miami,
had this happen.
It's still that deep south kind of.
There's still pockets, but for the most part, like it's very Tampa, Miami, Fort Myers. Those places are very gentrified for the most part. Orlando, especially. I live outside of Orlando, actually. So Jacksonville doesn't surprise me.
But
I don't know.
Does this mean something else? Which is, WWE going to think about where they host their matches from now on?
They dealt with this in the right way. They got the.
I think you're going to see a lot more crowd
threw the
control.
Family out.
Yeah.
And
I do think you're going to see maybe slightly less house shows done in Jacksonville. I could see WWE kind of avoiding cities that they think are trouble. I mean, it doesn't mean they're never going to do a show in Florida. They can just move it to something like one of the neighboring areas like Orange Park.
I would hope they do more house shows in
something
Montana.
like
They
that.
could do one in Great Falls. I know that's just me because I missed that one in Billings. The fact that I kept up on a WWE house show because it was in Montana, says a lot. And speaking of that, and now that I just reminded myself of this, at one point on commentary during Raw, Michael Cole said that Braun Strowman had never been taken off his feet, and I'm thinking, so I guess Roman spearing, yeah. It's like, I guess,
the house show didn't happen.
Braun making Roman look real strong, for. Yeah.
It's a house show. It didn't happen. Didn't count.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Even if it wasn't a house show, I've been conditioned to realize that half the shit Michael Cole says is bullshit, but it's being told to him by Vince. Like, say this, Michael. But Vince, that's
I
not
feel
true.
it's
Shut the
like,
fuck up and just say it.
Just say it, Michael. We're still good.
See,
We're
as
still
far
recording.
as the Roman Reigns stuff, I mean, if there's any solace, if there's any like devil's advocate that I can play with this situation, at least he's getting a reaction. Like, at least somebody gives enough of a shit to
Even if
say
it's
something
just
about it, even if it's like cheap
hateful
heat
and
kind of race
disgusting and,
stuff. Yeah. It sucks and it's horrifying that we have to actually say that in 2015, but I mean, Roman Reigns, we'll get more into this because I can sum up the whole Sheamus Roman Reigns thing in one sentence, but we'll get to that when we get to the main event.
All right.
But
yes.
like I said, as speaking as the Slamcast representative of Florida, I'd like to apologize to the whole Samoan family and say that next time just move your stuff to Altamont Springs. I'm closer to
Or
there.
don't worry, we're not. There's not a bunch of racist takes
Now
up
you're
Montana.
lobbying
Come
for
to Great
house
Falls
shows.
to a show. Hell, I'll get my work to provide you guys pizza as long as I get
You're
free
lobbying
tickets.
for house.
Actually, Pat.
Yeah.
We're the lobbying for house shows now. That's what we're doing on the
I'm
show.
just having fun now. Just fuck it.
It's totally how
So
it
yeah,
works.
we've got. So we've
Yeah.
the Del Rio.
We got. Let's talk. You want to take a little bit? Yeah, it's not happening in Puerto Rico. So like, this is. I'm not really like chalking this up
Yeah,
because
this
this
is
is a
what I
normal
understand is
Saturday
the
night
shit
in
that
Puerto
happens.
Rico. I think, but I think Alberto Del Rio is certainly not going to take any more independent bookings from here on out. I think this was booked before he made his return to WWE, and he's
As the Puerto Rican representative of Slamcast, I'd also like to apologize.
This is I understand
Look,
this shit
no,
happens
you know what?
with Puerto
Look,
Rico. I know they would
this
like
is-
heat up like pennies or something and stick it in, get the wrestlers. They would chuck batteries.
on the
So
spectrum on the spectrum of things to happen to a wrestler in Puerto Rico. This
I was
is
about to say
on
this
the
is about
opposite
as
end
far
of
as
Bruiser
for
Brody.
Bruiser Brody as you can get.
Exactly. This
I
is
think
just.
I think the fact that it is ADR is the only reason why people are acknowledging it. Otherwise, I mean,
Yeah.
this happens to people on the independents in Puerto Rico. I mean, they're a very old school, almost Memphis-like in terms of how deep they are into kayfabe. So, it is what it is. It's unfortunate, but thankfully, security got in and broke things up before it got dangerous.
Carlos Colon is still having matches in Puerto Rico to this day. Not Carlos Jr. Carlos Sr.
Hey, and
Yep.
people still pay. People still pay to watch it.
Oh man, it kind of reminds me of the I don't want to go into it. It's like Okada had a match against an old Junichi.
Oh, Tenryu.
His retirement match against Okada was just like I recognize Tenryu is an all-time legend in Japanese wrestling, but to watch him just try his work his way through a match with Okada.
Yeah, I was actually just listening to Brian Alvarez's review of Triple Mania, where they had the Villanos retirement match. I think it was like Villano. It was Villano 3 was retiring, and he said it was like one of the saddest things he had ever seen because you could tell this guy, I think, was like in his like late 60s, and he's just trying desperately to just.
Speaking of retirement,
basically.
might as well throw this here because I just remembered it. Did we bring it up last week? The girl in Japan that had her orbital bone just shattered. Like, she had Graves' disease, and she got back in her eye, and this fucking monster just destroyed her, and now she has to retire. The woman who did it is now blackballed from wrestling, which is great.
I mean, it's an unfortunate situation for both of them.
You know what you do with somebody like that? You give them one more chance. You're like, okay, we're gonna put you in a match, and we're gonna make it a special event. It's gonna be one of the first few, and I don't know how many they do in Japan, but we're gonna make it an intergender match, and you fucking put New Jack in the ring with her.
because sometimes, as New Jack likes to say, sometimes you just gotta hit a bitch in the eye.
Yeah. New Jack would
Yeah.
make things right. New Jack would make things right.
New Jack.
Oh man, Jack. Oh Jack.
We need
I
to get
just,
New Jack on the. We need to get New Jack as an interview. I think he'd do it.
I would love to, because
Oh
I think
God,
that would just
yeah.
be podcasting gold. We're gonna see.
Right.
We got some things in the pipeline coming
Yeah,
up.
well, might as
To
well
talk future
bring this
plans
up
on the
quick because now
show.
we got a guy who brought up
Say-
ECW. Hack Myers had just passed away. Yeah, and from
Yeah,
what
it's
I
an
understand,
unfortunate
he had
situation.
a brain tumor
You were-
removed, so he was recovering from that. He had the surgery. He was back at home, and then this is coming in. Like I'm in the Cult of Kayfabe group, and Axel Rotten's in there, and he said that Hack had just dropped into a coma, and he never woke up. So it's unfortunate.
It's
Sorry.
it's unfortunate, but at the same time, it's and I hate to be morbid about this, but we're talking ECW, so it is. At least it's a story to where a guy died due to non-induced,
Yeah. Yeah, well, he wasn't
complications.
one of those.
When you think
He
of
was the early
ECW
days of
guys, I mean,
ECW. He
this
was,
is
he was actually pretty over, but he wasn't the hardcore guy, huh? Hack Myers.
oh, he was Eastern.
They had
Was it
just
was it
became
like Eastern
extreme, but
the
he
Eastern
wasn't
days of
like
ECW?
wasn't like Axel Rotten. He wasn't like who
He wasn't a
Axel who
hard
got
guy.
pigeonholed into the
Yeah.
hardcore thing, and he has the still have the scars on his arm from the rest of his life from those barbed wire bat matches with Ian.
One of the weirdest moments in my life was the staring into the face of Balls Mahoney when I was enjoying some of lovely
God.
herbal refreshments with him one night. Yeah, and just staring into his head at the scars, and I'm just like,
Fuck,
and the
man.
missing teeth. That was the thing I was missing. He's like, oh my god, you're missing lots of teeth.
Oh shit.
So
Yeah.
that's that lifestyle again.
You
The
know,
wrestling lifestyle. After a while, I
it
have no
sucks.
idea how
And
those guys
Axel's
go
actually another
on.
guy. He's
It's
overcome
just,
a bad drug addiction.
ugh.
He's moved on from. He's a lot better off in his life. But then you have the guys that they like. I think was it Big Dick Dudley that died of a kidney failure or something, and you've had guys that have
Yes,
died in car
I,
accidents, have
I think
died
so.
because of cancer, have died natural causes, and yeah.
It's terrible, terrible. So our thoughts
Yep.
and prayers go out
His
to the
friends, all that.
family of Hack
Yeah,
Myers. We'll certainly be. It would certainly be remiss by that ECW fan base in South Philadelphia. Which, speaking of, me and Mr. Burhan will be potentially visiting. I
the
think
final
we're working out the
details,
final confirmation. Once we realize we can get tickets for pretty good, and there's a pretty good chance we're going to be on the next
right, this won't
3
be the
weeks of
actual
ROH
final battle show.
taping.
This is the TV tape, the aftermath.
It'll be it's the tape. We're finally going to tapings.
Hey, it's still an ROH
afterwards.
show.
So
You'll get to be there for the live, Dalton
we're gonna
Castle
be doing.
entrance.
Oh my god, I'm gonna mark so hard for that. Like, I'm gonna mark so hard for the Young Bucks, Dalton Castle, everything. AJ's supposed to be there, so it's gonna be my first time ever seeing. Well, me, I think AJ Styles was at a Newburgh
Nice.
NEW show that I went to, so I don't know.
Yeah, I guess.
So yeah,
Speaking
it's gonna
of
be.
AJ, he's got
I'm
a
looking forward
back
to it. It's gonna be cool.
injury that he's. I
Oh
hope
man,
not. I
this
think
is
he's
calls him the Miss
skipping the
Wrestle
match.
Kingdom.
He's supposed to have a match with Lethal
Oh
for
man,
the the title.
there. Yeah, he's supposed to be at. He's supposed to be. Oh man,
No.
that sucks. He's not. He's not gonna make
Yeah.
Final Battle.
Well, hey, if he's gonna be able, if you're at least gonna see him live at those shows, that's still pretty cool.
Well, no, because if he's not
true.
gonna make Final Battle, he's not gonna be at the tapings then.
Well, let me
Yeah.
actually see because I think I see a news article from 2 days ago. Let's see. AJ Styles was pulled from the New Japan events over the weekend, resulting in his World Tag World Tag League
Right.
match being forfeited.
Yeah.
Current plans are for Styles to take time off until the ROH Final Battle pay-per-view, and then take time off
Okay.
again until the Tokyo Dome event. So he will make it to
Okay,
Final
thanks
Battle,
for,
and he will make
clarifying
it
that.
to Wrestle Kingdom 10. He just won't do anything in between there.
I think that's it. I
Yeah.
think you're gonna see him take a lot of time off after this, after Kingdom, because I think that's the end of his New Japan commitments. Beyond that, I think he's obviously not gonna take the
Yep,
belt
King
off of
Strong style.
Nakamura.
And
But I think those two, oh my god, am I like the Wrestle Kingdom card just came out today, and I'm already salivating at it. But that's for another show, for another time. That match gets me. I get the tingles. I'm getting the tingles thinking about that. So
I'm gonna have to see if Wrestle Kingdom is available on the
It
pay-per-view
is.
writer that I have for PS3. Because I know that they have the live event app for PS3 where you can get certain events. I'm gonna have to check to see if Wrestle Kingdom is available on there, because I might actually end up buying that. Depending
I think you could. I think New Japan World works on most internet-enabled devices. So if you just log in through the website on the PS browser, on the PlayStation browser, I think it's. I mean, it's the same kind of flash that like Netflix uses. Well, Netflix uses Silverlight, but yeah. So weird tech talk can get edited out of the podcast.
Well, yeah. Well, if we're talking about
they
New
love stuff
Japan
like
World,
this.
yeah, I can see.
I mean, I've definitely thought about jumping off the New Japan World cliff several times, and if I have the chance to, I might just. But yeah, I'm very eagerly looking forward to Wrestle Kingdom. Super duper excited. You know what else I'm super duper excited
Wait, I
to?
have still a couple
This weekend is
things
a
bring
big
up
weekend
because
of
we've got.
UF.
I'm trying to get through all these notes first, but Sting. Apparently, he's gonna have to have neck surgery.
Apparently, he also does
Yeah,
this.
so
And
he doesn't know if it's gonna be the actual like fusion surgery, but
yeah, that's for him to have this
you
kind of
think we've seen the
surgery
last
this
match with
late in
Stinger?
his career. No, I think
But this
I
is
think he
pretty
has
much
a
it for
farewell
Sting.
match, but I think we might for those people. Those people thought they were going to see Sting Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Yeah, just more reason to be angry at Vince for wanting to do Sting and Triple H and not Sting and Taker. So yeah, but
yeah. That window, I think that window might have closed, because I think if they say the Undertaker
he's gonna have
wants
the
to
farewell
walk
and
away
he's gonna have
sooner
one
or
last
later,
match in Texas, and then that's gonna be it.
I don't think they ever like. We've talked about this on this show before. I don't know. We definitely talked about it in the pre-show. I think they are going to leave it ambiguous. Like, I think the Undertaker just fades away. And yes, we kind of know it's going to be the last match, but they never officially say that this is the Undertaker's last match. Like, the character just will fade right in the background. He'll get the curtain call and stuff like that at that match, but
there's still going to be the ambiguity of
the last match.
So yeah, that's the last of the injuries. Now
So,
let's
yeah,
get to the Scott Hall, who is lobbying to have Paige's mother
interesting
to be
Scott
in her
Hall
corner
news
at TLC.
Yeah, that. Go on, Miguel. Sorry.
You're gonna have to refresh me on this, because I'm not too familiar with Paige's mother. Is she an actual
Paige's
wrestler?
first bump was in her mother's womb.
Yeah. Because she was wrestling while she was pregnant with her, before she actually knew.
The English Hearts.
Say no more. I think I know what we're dealing with here.
The Canadian. Put it this way: the Knight family is the English Hart family. Like, they have the crazy wrestling brothers and sisters. When we, for all the creepy things we've said about Paige, we've really put Dave Wade in mortal danger, because, well, he's also put himself in danger too. Because he lives within
the Knight, and
striking
back
distance.
to find the meme
He can
of
very-
it's Ricky
he
Knight
very-
and his sons, and Ricky looks like a fucking Don in the Mafia, and it's captioned like a. So tell me again, what were the thoughts you had about my daughter and their sister Paige? He looked like a fucking Don in the Mafia. Like if you cross this dude, you're
Yeah.
gonna be wearing a pair of cement bunny slippers. You know?
You're gonna end up
You
in
sure
a,
about it? Because I'm looking at a picture of this guy. He looks like somebody that would have wrestled in ECW in like the late '90s.
That Bill, yeah.
definitely fits that mold.
Yeah. Again,
Tough,
the English
tough
Hart
sons
family.
of bitches. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I'm looking at pictures of him.
I like this idea though because
Yep.
it references the family connection that she has to the business.
Yeah.
And people like to see that kind of shit. And she needs.
I've got
She
a lot
obviously.
of
I mean,
respect for
they're
that entire
doing this.
family because I listened to on Colt Cabana's podcast a while back, and I'm like, I cannot hate this family at all, and I just have so much more respect, for Paige and her family because of it.
Yep, that was a reality show. Like the fact that no producer picked up on that family to give them their own reality show is a travesty because that's
give it some time. I would be shocked if given Paige's involvement with the WWE if that's something we might see on the WWE network.
She gets her own reality show
actually,
with her.
I'd watch it.
My crazy.
I'd watch it.
I'd watch.
Crazy British reality TV show.
Yeah, give me something to actually watch. A new program to actually watch on the network. That has some Total Divas or Breaking Ground watching my buddy get fired.
Fucking bring back Legends House.
I
like Legends House.
I was so amped up for the second season.
There would have
of
to be a
Legends
guy
because the
permanently
Iron
on the
Sheik
fucking
was going to be a part
button.
of it.
Is that confirmed?
Well, it was what I don't think they are going to do it because they're going away from that. But I think that was what they are probably going to go with was one of the people.
Oh my god! If they confirm Legends House season 2 with the Sheik, sold. I will plunk down my $9.99.
I shared it on my buddy Reed's Facebook, and and I'm a big Drake fan too. But
yeah,
I captioned $5 Jabroni versus Drake. Oh shit!
All right, we got to go into the.
Did you want to talk about the Joey Ryan video?
Sorry about that. Okay.
No,
Takeover or.
Style.
Yeah, I mean, great internet meme of the week or wrestling viral video of the week. If you haven't seen it yet, check out the video of Joey Ryan against Denshiku Dino.
Look,
one of the strangest wrestling spots you will ever see.
I've never heard of Power of the Penis before this. Yeah, I have.
Yeah. I mean,
well, I've seen Johnny Cockstrong before that.
But
yeah, and
yes, Nakamura is the king of strong style. Joey Ryan is the king of dong style.
Yeah, I mean, I also want to bring up the fact that the whole battle that Jim Cornette has had with Joey Ryan, and I will say this: people need to lighten up. It was silly.
That's
it
fine.
Had its place.
I enjoyed it.
If you didn't find it funny, great. That's fine. But this whole thing that people are all upset about, like, oh, fuck Joey Ryan, he's destroying the wrestling business, the sport, and blah, blah, blah. Calm down, Marks. Yeah. It's a gimmick. He's living the gimmick. It has its fans. I'm starting to like the guy. I think it was a shame that it's a shame that TNA passed up on him when they had the chance to sign him for Gut Check, but that's their issue. Yeah. I think the guy has a weird kind of charisma to him. I need to see a match of his to see if he's actually good in the ring. Is he actually any good?
He is. He is. I mean, there is some stuff that he does do that be kind of questionable. Like I maybe am. This is where I draw my wrestling purist line. It's intergender wrestling. I think if anything is quote unquote destroying the sanctimony of professional wrestling, it's intergender wrestling. Because I just believe there's no way that a 130 pound woman can make a 225 pound man feel any sort of physical agony.
to me, it's only effective if you have one person doing it. If you're gonna do it, have it be one person, and that's it. Like the way Lucha Underground does it with
Right.
Sexy Star, I'm okay with it because it's just one woman
Right.
doing that gimmick. If you had more than one, yeah, that's overkill. But if you just had one woman to make
Right.
it special,
And-
I can kind of buy into it, but only just.
I mean, you have
Yeah.
Candice Lee Ray is like a champion of a promotion. I think what it is. I forget what. And it's not just an all women's promotion. She's a champion of a men's promotion. I think it's Chikara. Chikara, yeah, she's like the Chikara Grand Champion, I think, or some shit.
That
like
doesn't count because Chikara's
Which is hilarious.
they've had spots with hypnosis for
It's
fuck's
one of my-
sake, which is a great spot.
That
I
was
love
the
that.
Osiris
bit.
I
Portal,
love that
yeah,
bit
that's what
too.
it was.
Yes. Or was that?
Osirian Portal, yeah.
Yeah, Osirian Portal.
So
Yeah.
funny.
The most illegal move in professional wrestling
I think it was
history.
CZW, but
Yeah.
Sammy
was
Callahan's
CZW,
going
was that-
back to CZW as well as going to be a cage
Yeah,
now.
No,
was-
But I want to say one last thing about Joey
Yeah.
Ryan quick.
We've talked
He
about
is
that before.
probably
All right,
the
let's
one
go
guy
on to
on the
the.
indies that I never want to see go to WWE. They would neuter his, and I really made that realization the day
they would
at work.
ruin
I'm like,
him.
They would neuter his gimmick so much that it wouldn't even be worth it. He wouldn't do any of this. He
would just
wouldn't
be
have
lollipop.
fucking,
He would just be. He would just
John
bring a
Cena
lollipop
wouldn't
and
grab him by the dick and he'd hip toss Cena, dick toss Cena. God. No.
No, you
Yeah.
cannot do the dick toss in any.
He
other-
would essentially
Yeah,
be
so-
Adam Rose.
Anyway, I'm gonna
essentially.
order one of the King of Dong style shirts because I have to. It's shut up and take my money. You know.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
That's a great.
So ready
great
for?
wrestling
Do you want to
shirt.
start with TLC?
Yeah. Let's just do TLC, and I mean, my headphones are gonna die. Like I
think TLC is the one that everybody
doing
wants to hear about. I
predictions,
mean,
but-
Takeover is going to be great. You guys can,
Yeah, I think TLC is the only thing that really matters for sake of my battery on my headphones.
Okay.
So.
Shall we start with the what's it called?
I'm pulling up the card
The
now.
first match, the kickoff match, essentially.
Yeah, pull up the card now
I'm
because
about
I
to
don't
throw
know
a
what's
few quick,
going
just
on
kind of
beyond
the highlight matches.
There's
Okay.
Do
the
Enzo
table-
and Kaz win the tag titles or no?
I'm going to say no because if they haven't already won it by now, they're not going to win it.
I'm not gonna say that they're not gonna win it. I'm just gonna say they're not gonna do it yet. They're gonna still delay that because I don't think they give that away in London. I think they still wait to do that in Orlando, or
And that's when they do it. Okay.
dare I even say if they going back to Brooklyn or anywhere in, because
Bailey versus Nia Jax.
New York.
Bailey retains.
Bailey
not gonna be
retains.
with
I
the
think
title. I
they
think this is
want to
really
do
just
something with
a
Nia Jax, but
major
it's
hurdle.
Not yet. I mean, if Nia Jax does win,
Yeah. So,
I think if Nia Jax does win, though, I think that's a sign that Bailey's going to probably go up to the main roster.
oh,
I hope to fucking God Bailey never makes it to the main roster. And I'm not saying that being selfish. I can't. I don't want them to ruin Bailey. I like Bailey. I like her gimmick so much. And I know the moment she gets brought up, they're going to fuck it up. And I don't want to see that. I'm being 100% selfish on this. I don't
No, you know what
want
it
her
is?
to be
I think
promoted.
I don't think they'll fuck it up because you know what it is? They'll bring it up and they'll just do the same thing that they kind of did in NXT with her at first. She'll be like the starry-eyed, I'm on Monday Night Raw, and then the first bit of creative that they'll do with her will be Sasha Banks saying, "Nah, bitch, you're on the boss's turf." And
No, you know what they're gonna do? I like to
we'll
think
get
WWE.
we'll get Naomi.
No,
Bailey
no,
for a
you
few
you know
weeks.
what they're gonna do? They're gonna feed her to Nikki Bella. You know it.
They
You
won't,
know if
no,
they if
because
they're gonna
no,
do
because the
anything to
Bellas-
her.
Because the Bellas are being phased out. The Bellas did not re-sign their contracts, and the Bellas are probably going to be done by the end of this year. Probably by WrestleMania. Probably actually.
so
If that's the case,
and I
hope
did see
that
this
is,
that
'cause
one of the
then you
biggest
can bring Bailey up.
merchandise
But
sellers in WWE
like I said,
is Bailey. She's got like 4 different items up, and she's outselling the Bellas who have 2,000
Because I'm
yeah, but
different items.
I
Yeah,
think
but at the same time, Dean Ambrose's hoodie outsells
Yeah,
most of John Cena's
yeah,
merchandise, and look what they're doing
and
with
then
Ambrose.
Balor
We'll get
and
to that.
Joe. Now, do you put the title on Joe and then have Hideo Itami come out and basically said that Joe was the one that attacked him, or I think he is.
Is Itami
Close.
cleared to come back?
Yeah, Sami Zayn's on. He's
I
they've
think you
been
might
doing
be
the
close.
pre
Sami
the
Zayn is also pretty close
the
too.
promos, the vignettes of him coming back. So it could. I don't know if Finn's going up to the main roster. I don't know. It's just kind of up in the air.
I'm gonna say no because I don't. If they take the belt off of Finn Balor, he has to come back to the roster. Like, there's no way they're gonna keep him in like the mid card in NXT. And I don't know what else you can get out of Finn Balor at this point in the main event. I think he needs to hold the belt. I think you debut a guy like Finn Balor the night after WrestleMania.
But do you beat Samoa Joe,
that's a
or
big one to
maybe
drop.
could you have Itami come in and drop Joe with the GTS maybe?
I think Balor and Joe could have a good solid matchup, and then after that, Itami can come in, and that starts the program with Joe. I don't think you need to have some type of definitive end between Balor and Joe. You want to keep that open enough to where you can go back to it.
Yeah, it's still only been going on for a few weeks now. They only had
has at least 2 or 3 matches.
First
in
match
it,
of the Takeover.
Awesome.
I think this has at least 2 takeovers.
I just want to get those quick ones out of the way because I'm just kind of rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, just get the kind of the big highlights because again, I'm looking forward to Bailey and Nia. The Dash and Dawson have been a great team, and then of course the main event, Balor and Joe, is just going to be epic. So, I think that's pretty much a given,
in advance,
isn't it?
I
hope you have your life insurance paid up, Emma, because Asuka's gonna kill you, and she's gonna smile.
Zack Ryder better ring. Zack Ryder's gonna ring that up
hate
too.
Zack Ryder now. Fuck.
Yeah,
I got the card up. That was pretty much me.
Yeah, let's get into TLC. What do you think is going to be the kickoff match? Because
I don't know.
They haven't really announced what's going to be the kickoff show matchup.
Del Rio Swagger.
I'd see it be
chairs
the
match.
Wags are in that one. I'm going to say Del Rio Swagger. You think that's
Neville Miz?
No, that's got to be on the main card if it's a chairs match. I think
they're in the tag title ladder match.
I think the New Day is probably going to get booted back to the yeah, but who cares? Oh, yeah, they are in the ladder match. Damn, every match is in paper.
You know what, Colin?
Okay, fuck it. Let's just start with the first one, the number 6 listed on Wikipedia. Let's start with ADR versus Swagger.
So yeah, Alberto Del Rio versus Jack Swagger in a chairs match. Oh, I hate these. This is why I'm starting to get sick of the TLC pay-per-view because we have. Why do we need a fucking chairs match? Because fuck you, that's why.
Why did we need a stairs match last year?
Because fuck you,
I don't know. We don't have a stairs match this year, do we? How do I sound, by the way? I'm talking into the internal microphone since my thing died.
Yeah, I think... No, you sound actually better. I think you actually sound a lot clearer, honestly.
Do I? Okay.
Yeah. I think this should be a thing moving on. You know what? I think next year they need to have a bears match. They need to just have a bear. It's got to be tables, ladders, chairs, and bears.
And stairs. And how about and pairs? A pairs match.
A dares match. Pairs match.
The other thing that rhymes with
a hair match.
A hair match.
That's what they should have done that with the Charlotte Page match, but they're a little bit too late for that. But yeah, ADR folks, you'll notice that we're not talking directly about the ADR versus Jack Swagger match because what can be said?
I thought that was shot again because I was following the Billings Montana house show and Swagger was on the card. Like, oh, that's right, Jack Swagger still works for the company.
Yeah, talk about a guy that needs to be bus flipped now. Like that guy just he brings absolutely nothing to the table, and I think the only reason he's even getting this matchup is because of the Zeb Coulter
Del Rio.
relationship. Otherwise, there's no reason he
Del
needs to
Rio.
be on pay per
Pretty
view. I'm gonna go ADR on this
Unanimous
one
Del
because why? Yeah.
All right, let's see. Let's go to. I'm just up from Wikipedia.
Yeah, Del Rio.
8-man tag team elimination tables match, and fuck, we're after Survivor Series, and then they create a bunch of four versus four feud. Bravo, Vince, jackass.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You got Team ECW, which is the Dudleys, Dreamer, and Rhino versus the entire Wyatt family. Talk about a demotion, going from Taker and Kane in essentially the one of the co-main events of the previous pay-per-view to this, a Team ECW match.
I don't view it as really as a demotion. I just view it as the amazing trust that they have in the Wyatt family.
Yeah,
like, okay, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna make it work, and people are interested in it.
You really think we're gonna see the Dudleys lose a tables match? Wyatts need the win.
The only reason
Wyatts need a win.
Yeah, and the only reason I would say that is the case is because of the fact that they have Strowman in there. For some reason, they seem to be very high on keeping him looking strong and
real strong.
Yeah, and in the case of a tables match, there's no way to get around it. He would have to go through a table. So I think the Dudleys are going to do a job. And you know what? That's fine. Okay. The Dudleys don't need to win this. Rhino does not need to win this match. Tommy Dreamer does not need to win this match.
Dudleys have lost a tables match on pay-per-view before, 2004 Rumble. They, put over Ric Flair and Batista. Batista put Devon right through a fucking table, man.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, if this were like in Philly, for instance, I could see the Dudleys winning, but it's in Massachusetts,
that's pretty much been Rhino's job,
so it's fine. You can have Team ECW
NXT
lose
anyway.
this one.
Excuse me, again. ECW on the brain now, thanks. Yeah, pretty much Wyatt's. We'll probably see a Gore through a table. We'll probably see the 3D through the table. We'll see the big spots, more than likely. But in the end, the Wyatts are taking this. Charlotte versus Paige.
I want to see a Sister Abigail through a table. Like, I want to see Bray. If Bray is standing on a table and delivers a Sister Abigail, does it count as him putting himself through the table, or is he putting the other guy through the table?
Don't give WWE ideas; they might fuck it up.
I've already established that with my
idea
before.
We already know that
they
have spies on this podcast.
To shove Irish Foghorn Leghorn down my throat.
Yeah. I'm already worried about the idea that they might just have Strowman get eliminated by just accidentally stepping on a table. He might be so big he might just accidentally fall off the ring apron and just kind of accidentally step on one of the tables, and they're like, it counts, he's out.
All right, Charlotte versus Paige.
So let's hope that they don't go that route.
Charlotte.
Yeah.
But going back to the.
There's no reason she needs to.
Yeah, no reason to take the belt off of Charlotte yet at this point.
Yeah, I think this is... I think what we're seeing now is I think they realize that face Charlotte...
Hey, if she's anything
is
like
not
her
as
daddy,
good as
she's
what
gonna be a fantastic
potential she does have
she's
as a
already
heel.
proved that on NXT
this is really
as part of the BFF, the Beautiful Fierce...
Yeah, I think this is...
the name of the team, BFS? Part .0, actually.
Yeah. Team Bad Part 2.
Oh, point. Yeah. Anyway.
Part 1.0 or 0.0 or team
or Charlotte.
Here's the thing: the only way I could see this being a case of them taking the belt off of Paige is if they want to slot Sasha Banks in that role, because I do think there's money in a Banks Paige feud. And I think WWE, hopefully they see money in that, because I do think they can get something out of that.
New Day have been doing backstage shit, and it's been popping up on Instagram and everything, and now, oh look, they put him in the ring. You got Sasha Banks wearing a fucking unicorn horn and dancing, and as soon as New Day's theme hit, I just got a big smile, like, Oh yes.
Look,
That was
look,
the greatest
And I swear I heard you
moment.
Yeah,
orgasm.
I just
Brandon, 'cause
spent-
I made that comment. Like, I think Brandon Liggan just orgasmed.
yeah,
I
And it's
wasn't
New Day.
watching, but that was my impetus to finally start watching. I'm like, oh, wow, something's happening.
look, I respect Sasha Banks as a performer, but I've spent the last 20 minutes watching clips of her dancing in the ring there, and it's kind of like that scene in the Simpsons where they're watching Homer on the treadmill, the two X-Files people.
It's
just-
hypnotic.
I know what you're talking.
Yeah,
I've seen
like I posted the
last
clip
couple
of
of
it
days
in the chat if you want to see exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, I
mean,
mean,
you know, and they haven't.
I'm
beat her.
fine
I
with
don't think
what they're
she's
doing with
lost
Sasha Banks, but I do
really
think she
that
deserves
many
better.
times
So
with
I would
beat.
love to see her and Paige
So
go
she
at it.
she still hasn't been beat. So yeah, I think there it's just kind of maybe it's a little
Yeah.
bloated right now because they called so many of them up, and you know Becky Lynch is the one that got shoved to the side. Mm-hmm.
I could see there being a Becky Charlotte feud at some point.
Yeah, I
Like,
think
that
that's
would-
I think that's what I think this is what they're probably angling towards is they're gonna turn Charlotte heel now that or they're gonna make the Divas title like the one ring of power. And whoever possesses it is like evil and will do anything to
Pretty much
to
just
keep
unanimous
it.
Charlotte take.
But yeah,
know,
I don't.
It's like fucking logic.
It kills me to go against Paige too.
Well, yeah. Well, you gotta trump logic over your
'Cause,
favorites.
well,
so.
no, I'm torn.
Yeah.
Over
Yeah.
what the heart wants, what the heart wants, though, Nick.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
WWE logic, because if
Yeah,
we used
well,
real
look what my
logic,
fucking
half of
Survivor
our
Series
choices would
predictions.
probably
Hello?
be different.
I'll direct you back to that episode when we made our Survivor Series predictions. So,
Yeah.
all right. So we got our triple threat tag team ladder match:
I'll have to
The
go
New
back
Day,
and check that out.
the Usos, and the Lucha Dragons. Yeah.
This has the potential to be match of the night.
Yeah,
Let me just say that right
Yeah,
now.
these guys are going
I
to be
think these
flying
guys
around.
are going
You're gonna
to
have, got Big E
perform
in there. He's gonna beat
110%
somebody
in
up
this. I think
and dance the whole way. You.
I love how Kofi Kingston was trying to put over the
We've
fact that
seen
he
him-
hates
yeah.
ladders.
And by the
Yeah,
way,
we've seen him
the weird
do
thing, we're at
all
this point in
sorts of
wrestling right
things
now where
with
the
a
two
ladder
most
in
over
those Money in the
things
Bank
are
matches.
Xavier Woods' trombone and Joey Ryan's dick. Think about that. Yeah. So, New Day retains?
it's a
Pretty
very
much.
boring time for wrestling.
Or
Ooh.
Yeah,
I say
I see the
yes
momentum's
because
too strong.
the Usos right now are doing the whole family thing with Reigns, so they don't need the titles. And I don't see WWE putting the belts on the Lucha Dragons.
yeah,
I don't
it's
feel
'cause
like
I
they've
watched
really
them on NXT
gotten the most
when
out
they
of that
went-
team.
they
Like,
won
that
the
team
tournament to
should be a
determine the
lot
next
bigger than they
opponents
are.
for the
I think
Ascension. And and they didn't have. It was just Kalisto and Sin Cara. It was Sin Cara and Kalisto. There wasn't a name until they won the titles. That we are the Lucha Dragons, which Lucha Dragons. I dig. I'm sorry. I dig the name. It's cool.
Was
I
we
gotta
need
go
a
with
team
it.
to come. We need a name to
Kalisto's
come up with
freaking
you.
amazing. This Sin Cara doesn't botch every 5 minutes. You know.
yeah. He was pretty botch heavy. I've been watching clips of
It's
recent
still the,
botchamanias. There's still a
character
few
and
Sin
not
Cara
the
clips,
guy
you know,
playing
peeking
the
out there.
It's
The mask.
Still,
Haunted mask. Yeah. Oh God, please.
I think it's the mask. I think the mask is
I
haunted.
think we really got to watch it. I swear, we're giving WWE bad
Yeah.
ideas. Ugh.
But yeah, as far as that, like I said, the Usos. If it were any,
Yeah.
if they were in any other storyline, I'd probably say the Usos, just because they seem to be
Yep.
kind of the trusted tag team that WWE likes.
they're,
but
they're
in
the they're the go-to face tag team right now.
yeah, but they're in the middle of a major storyline, so no reason to put the belts on them. Like I said, the Lucha Dragons. I think that they're kind of treading water. I don't know if
Unless-
WWE says anything.
Unless they put the belts on them
Interesting.
only to take it off of them and put it on one of the League
So
of
who
Nations.
would that team end up being? That would more than likely end up
Ooh.
being Wade and
That's something to
Rusev.
think about.
Probably.
Yeah, but that would require Rusev to actually get a belt, and given the heat that's on him at the time at this point, I don't know if they want to do that. You know,
Yeah,
God
that's true.
forbid they make that team look strong. To not spite themselves.
Then you would set up this interesting, New Day League of Nations feud because they kind of League of Nations has the tacit approval of the Authority. New Day's kind of been their sort of go-to team as well. Sets up some
Yeah, but like I said, that would require actually giving Rusev a belt, and like I said, they'd rather cut the tip of their nose off to spite it.
And
you
more
know?
They'd rather
concerned
have
about
him
the
doing
honesty
silly
than-
romance angles and having him look very
Yeah.
weak.
He was a
year
monster.
ago,
Just he fed to, Superman.
this guy was a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, and which is I think might be what the League of Nations
Yeah,
ends up being.
every
They're
night
gonna
needs a
be
dragon to
made
slay.
to look real strong for. Well, that, and of course, and maybe more like it to
It's Roman's dragon to slay.
Yeah, Well, we'll see about that. But speaking of people that were fed to
sorry,
that
I love
certain
Dean. He's not going to win
person,
the title.
let's move on to Kevin Owens versus Dean
I'm
Ambrose.
becoming even more convinced week by week. I know they're doing the promos on NXT for Sami Zayn, but I think Dean was in the finals of the the WWE World Title Tournament, so Owens is still going to retain. And nope. No.
This match has no stipulation to it?
Nope.
Oh my god.
It could have fucking worked,
oh my
too.
god.
If any match needed to be a stairs match, it should have been this one.
Or fucking Ambrose.
Yeah.
I've got 3 different guys in my head now. Onto the fucking steps.
Oof.
Ambrose.
Oof.
Oh, by the way, speaking of
Oof.
Dean Ambrose,
Oof.
happy birthday, Titty Master.
And yeah, with WWE.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Digimaster's birthday this week. Turn of the big
Good for
3-0.
him.
Yeah.
I'm sure Renee is making his birthday feel very special.
Yeah, I think I made the comment in the
second
Raw
luckiest
thread
man
that,
on the face of the earth.
no, Dean's real celebration is going to be
But
later,
yeah,
and
there's no reason to put the belt on.
Nope. Because I am
Yeah.
becoming convinced more and more.
There's no reason to take the belt off of Kevin Owens at this point,
and all of a sudden, Sami Zayn is going to cut after Owens has been eliminating guys left, right, and center. He'll probably dump out like Adam Rose and Heath Slater and.
See, you think that, but I have no faith in WWE in that regard. I could see it very well that they bring Sami Zayn back and just slot him back into NXT. I don't see them having long-term booking like that. I think if somebody probably brought up the idea, Vince would probably be like, that happened in the fucking middle, the performance center in NXT, and that was a year ago. No one remembers that.
I don't know.
I could see him compartmentalize. Well, not compartmentalizing, but marginalizing an idea like that.
Definitive conclusion to the Zayn Owens feud, because what happened last time was the debut in NXT of Samoa Joe. So.
Mm-hmm. I tell you what, as far as Kevin Owens, I do see him losing the belt at some point, just not now. And the reason is, if there's one guy that I think could be sized up for a match
Owens
against Taker
at
WrestleMania, if they don't decide to do Cena versus Taker, I could see Owens being that guy.
Wait a minute, hang on a minute. I'm not laughing at the idea, like, because that is an idea. I mean, I'm not laughing at your suggesting it. But again, if 3 years ago you would have told me that we could actually be discussing the chances of Kevin Steen having a match at WrestleMania against
Yes.
The Undertaker.
What are you smoking?
I would
Can I have some of it?
demand, sir, that you share whatever drugs
Probably
you're on.
it sounds like the same shit I was allegedly smoking Saturday night.
Demand.
Well, I mean, come on. Like Yeah, well, you know what? We had a
Was it for
pay-per-view where Kevin Steen beat John Cena for the U.S. belt, and it was
know.
headlined by Dean Ambrose versus.
This is the world we're living in, I know, but it's
Yeah,
still.
we had a pay-per-view
fucking
headlined by
amazing
John
ladder
Moxley
match is one of the
versus
greatest
Tyler
finishes
Black.
to a ladder
So,
match
you
I've
know,
seen in a
take that
longest
what you
time.
will.
But I mean, if
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
think
I mean,
the
if
chances of
Owens
seeing
doesn't
Kevin
get what he was
Owens against the
lobbying for, and that's a
Undertaker
match
is
with
probably a
Lesnar,
lot higher than it was 3 years
you
ago.
know, maybe they do Taker, maybe they actually do go with my idea. But I you know, I guess after Survivor Series, I should really not get my hopes up. But basically, what we're saying is they're not taking the belt off of Kevin fucking Owens. And I'm saying that, and I'm wearing my Fight Owens fight shirt. So
No.
Not yet.
No.
yeah, it's win Owens win. And then, of course, the main event, the
Fucking
In Owens win.
oh boy, you know,
Let me say this about Sheamus versus Roman Reigns. Getting excited about a Sheamus versus Roman Reigns match is like getting excited about a Diesel Bulldog match in '94. It's these guys. I know they're trying to make these guys seem big, but this just screams upper mid card, and
like
it's
we
not
said
growing
earlier,
pains. I know
how
people are saying,
we're at a
well, you know,
stage
they got to
where
start
their
building
top
guys up. You
are
know, it's got to
hurt.
start somewhere.
So they've had to. They don't have Cena to default back to. You know, Seth got hurt. They didn't have any other credible friggin' top heel. So what do we get? We get, you know, the guy who had the Deus Ex Machina in the bank.
See, here's the thing, though. I disagree with you on that because look at the matchup we just talked about before this. Owens versus Ambrose. I think if you gave fans the choice of seeing Owens Ambrose for the WWE title and Sheamus Reigns for the WWE title, I think a lot of people would be more excited to see Owens versus Ambrose. I think those guys, if you gave them the main event, would probably steal the show. I think they're going to steal the show regardless. I think this could probably give the New Day match a run for its money as far as match of the night, but I think it's a matter of these guys just do not.
I give more of a fuck.
I don't
about
care
Roman
enough
Reigns
about
than
Roman
I do
Reigns and Sheamus
Look,
to want to see
Sheamus
them
is Irish
fight for the
born,
WWE title.
That pretty much.
And that's unfortunate because I followed Sheamus O'Shaughnessy in FCW. There was a period where I was living in Tampa, and we actually had FCW on TV through the Bright House Sports Network. So I actually got a chance to see Sheamus in the early days of the FCW, and I actually thought at the time he was actually one of the bigger stars.
You know, he ended up he was actually, as I remember, he was the guy that gave, you know, the high cross to Jamie Noble and retired him in storyline. That was what put Jamie Noble out. So this guy could be a hell of a hand. He's a hell of a heel. He's hard hitting.
I think so, yeah.
But it's at this point, you know, when you make a guy, you know, and it's been the same thing with the Money in the Bank guys for a while. They book him to lose so much, and then all of a sudden they win the title, and it's like, really? So all of a sudden we're supposed to care now that he's the champion. But he's been losing for months.
I don't.
He is Triple H's buddy.
Yes and
so
no. I'll say that they do protect Sheamus a lot more than they do other people. Like his yeah, his run as Money in the Bank was nowhere near as bad as, let's say, Dolph Ziggler
main event
or The Miz before they won their belts, or Damien Sandow. They yeah. Yeah, my point is that Sheamus does have the potential to be a big star. It's just he's been languishing in the mid card for so long, and he really hasn't had that one moment in his career that's kind of elevated him.
Now
He
you
hasn't
take
had
now you can
that
take him seriously
Cactus
as a main
Jack
eventer.
Triple H Royal Rumble 2000 moment that you looked at him and you're like, all right, this guy's
Oh
the main
no,
event.
yeah, I remember this. It's like they were
I thought
getting
the
slated
Daniel
to
Bryan feud
wrestle
could have
at
been that, but they
27,
never really gave
and
them
they ended
both
up
the
in a
TV
pre-show
time.
battle royale won by the Great Khali. And then at 28, 18 seconds, Daniel kissed AJ Lee
Mhm.
and then got bro kicked in the face.
Which, to be fair, was probably the best thing to happen
And he
to
did
Daniel
kiss
Bryan's
AJ Lee, so
career,
there's
because
nothing wrong
that
with that.
was pretty much the start of the yes chant. So I will give themselves for that, even though it was accidental. Fair enough. Honestly, I probably thought that Sheamus's matchup could have been him against Triple H when they had that at WrestleMania, but of course Triple H had to beat him. I think if Sheamus had won that matchup, that would have been the moment that he would have been like, all right, this guy is a main eventer. This guy beat Triple H on the grand stage. I take him seriously, but that wasn't the
All right.
case, and he really, honestly, since then hasn't really lived up to that potential, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Totally, man, totally.
transitional
But
champion.
again, what we get him now is Sheamus as transitional champion. I think he's going to get that chance to change a lot of people's opinions on him. I think they're going to allow putting the League of Nations around him is going to allow him to be himself more. Like, yes, okay, yes, all these guys have just been feuding over the years, like the "hey, we're all friends now" thing.
I think Sheamus is probably going to hold on to the belt, and I say that because I think he's going to hold on to it until TMNT 2 is released.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah,
Until he has
they-
to go start doing press for that, yeah, he will.
He's good. They want him to. They
Mhm.
want that banner on Good Morning America to say WWE Champion Sheamus,
No.
Yeah.
which is unfortunate because I think if they keep killing Roman Reigns, it's not going to do him any good favors.
Yes, again, I think I've had this moment before, and they are very quickly approaching this shit or get off the crapper moment with Roman Reigns. Like, all right, I can't deal
At
with the
Survivor
teases.
Series and
Like,
not.
that's why I believe that if they had done the tournament thing immediately after Seth's injury, not done the whole qualifying thing and all that, just do it, have
Yeah.
crown a new champion the Raw after Seth is injured and out.
You mean King of the Ring style?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It would have been better, but
I think Reigns has. I think there's an unfortunate potential here to have a Ryback situation.
Yeah.
You remember when
And they
Ryback was
built up
put in the ring
Ryback
with
to be
CM
this
Punk at the time when they
monster.
couldn't get the
He
belts
was
off of
beating
him.
everybody.
exactly.
I mean, it was Ryberg.
Or it's I think. Yeah, and then they put him, and then they said, all right, people are liking it. Let's put him up against Punk for the title, and then people are like, no, we like.
So they
Punk
had no
better.
one.
No.
and they
What
pretty
happened
much-
was they had no choice but to put him in there because Cena had just left to get elbow surgery, and they had no other main event guys. And at the time, they had already set up Rock versus Punk to be at Royal Rumble, so they had no choice but to put
Right,
Ryback
and
in
then,
there because they
Rock
had
won
no
the
other
title
big name
just to
stars,
drop it back
but they
to-
couldn't take the belt off of him
Doo-doo-doo.
because they had
Yeah.
Rock in mind for Rumble.
He's been.
True,
he
but
has
that
shown he's
killed
got a
Ryback in
hell
my
of a
opinion, which is
like,
unfortunate because I've
watch-
been a
he can be
Ryback
very
fan for a
entertaining,
long time. I
all honesty, he's a lot better in the ring than he was. But yeah, they. Mm-hmm.
he's a guy that could have been world heavyweight champion.
I think there's still time for him. Like the window is not closed for him, so he could still very well be world champion one day.
Yeah.
I think
Sheamus
he's not quite
retains.
there yet.
Mm.
But Roman and Sheamus, yeah, I definitely think Sheamus is winning this, and I mean we're seeing the Roman WrestleMania build, man. I think that's slowly what's going to happen.
Where do you think we're going to be heading to?
So you think they take the belt off
I
of
think
him at,
Sheamus
like,
is
the
not going to be the
Rumble
champion at
or
Royal Rumble or
or
at
WWE
WrestleMania.
Fastlane? Get it
but,
right.
Rumble or Fastlane or something like that. Sometime in between that, like right before it, and yeah, that's I think we're gonna see this one thing, and then we get chaos and disarray, and that's what we're gonna get. We're gonna get the swerve.
It's hard to say where they're going to be at WrestleMania because the WWE logic in me says that they pull the trigger on Cena versus Reigns at WrestleMania, but I feel like when it comes to Cena, we're probably going to see Cena versus Taker. I think if they want to fill up the AT&T Center, they're probably going to AT&T Stadium.
Not
excuse
gonna
me.
happen.
They'll probably go that route because that is the biggest match they could put on, save for maybe Lesnar Austin. Oh no, not going to happen at all. I don't know where they go because the only other person I could think of that they could put in the ring with Reigns that people would give a shit about would be Triple H. But I have no desire to see H fight for the belt at WrestleMania. None at all.
Yeah, actually, you know what? You say you have no desire to do that, but I would not rule that out as a possibility. Triple H wants one more run as champion.
I feel like they're building up to that with the whole, them hacking the Bryan storyline for Reigns. I could see them thinking, we'll put this will be the big match. We'll have Triple H versus Roman Reigns, and Roman will beat Triple H because it's best for business. I can kind of see that, I guess. But like I said, I just have no desire to see Triple H fighting for the title. I think
Triple H in
that'd
the opening
be a
match.
bit much, but
which was great. They had a great match, told a great story. We got the moment in the end. But it's like, I'm a Triple H fan, but he doesn't need the belt anymore, honestly. He's bingo, yeah.
Oh no, he wouldn't win. There's no way that Triple H would be. I don't care how big Triple H's balls are. He would not. There's no way he would lobby to beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. I mean, no. I mean, he's done it before. He did it with Sting. He did it with Sheamus. If it were any other person, I could see Triple H winning, but there's no way that WWE would allow Triple H to beat Roman Reigns. I think that's a bit much. I think he would even be like, that's fucking stupid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, I've always said that was, one of the biggest misconceptions with Triple H's career, that he buries all these people. No, he puts them over.
He only buries people if they're former WCW guys.
Brief little takeover London because
all right.
I'm gonna have to go on a social media blackout from about 1 PM until I finish watching it because
TLC. Yeah.
I didn't take the day off of work and I need to not have anything spoiled. It's great that they're doing it in London, but it's fucking
gonna be
killer for me because I'm gonna be at work at 1 PM and.
Yeah, man. So we.
Yeah. I mean, I know I won't get to sit at home.
Interesting watching wrestling at all hours of the day, which is one of the great things about having this WWE network.
Bailey and Sasha, but...
So.
Anyway, yeah, that's.
Great. Good times, but we got this is a good weekend too. We got TLC, we got good fights in the UFC.
Quick thing for Saturday, I'm gonna say I want McGregor.
I was wondering.
I
thought
that
was.
Sorry,
Aldo's
I muted myself.
Because of my usual track record with these things.
All right.
So yeah.
Yeah, and for those that may be recent listeners of Slamcast, we called Ronda Rousey, and look what happened. And I cannot pick a UFC main event to save my life.
Hey, what was the first when we were calling the Rousey fight? The first thing I said, the first words out of my mouth, I said, "This has Tyson Douglas written all over it." But that being said, I couldn't go against my girl Ronda. I have the exact opposite feeling
So-
of this. I mean, this has a king making for either one of these guys. Who, no matter who wins this fight, is going to be the biggest draw in the UFC. Because if Aldo wins, he's gonna shut up Conor, and finally prove to everybody that he is pound for pound one of the best in the world. Even though he has been hurt and hasn't been around.
Yep.
But he's been doing it quietly. And if Conor wins this fight, it's just going to be the ascension of Conor McGregor. He's beaten his greatest opposition yet, and it's now the UFC is now the Conor McGregor show. I can't go against the Irishman. I really can't. It's if I do, like I'm
I'm
can
saying
no longer
Aldo
call
because I
myself a
want
proper
Conor
Irishman.
McGregor to win, and I can't pick a UFC main
so,
event to save my fucking life.
I
That's
have
you
to
ask
go with
any one of my
with
friends,
Conor
they'll
in this
say,
one.
yeah, he can't pick one to save his life. This has been evident for years, so yes. I'll be over at the Sting watching it.
It's gonna be a hell of a fight. It's gonna be a hell of a fight. That's all I know. Oh.
Shit.
I will be sitting at home.
Well,
It's a Saturday, so I'll probably be
no Iron
at
Sheik
work
tweet of the week. We're
doing
pretty
tech
much
support,
done.
sadly.
Oh well. Well, that has been
It's
this
kind of low. It's just the
fun-filled
same
episode
old,
of
like,
Slamcast.
fuck the Monday.
No, Iron Sheik
usual.
tweet of the week. He was really. I'm not.
I make the Wednesday
chastising
humble,
him this week,
Bubba.
but it was really kind of.
Just, it's hit or miss.
Yeah, exactly. Not even. Yeah, not even. There was nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Even literally, even since probably the last time we did the tweets, it's probably even been like 10 tweets.
Anyway,
or like
plugs,
a handful of tweets since then. So
Miguel,
not a whole lot to go on. So sorry if you're expecting an Iron Cheek tweet of the week.
Yep.
Nothing to plug at the moment. I don't have a show anymore. I ended it back in November. I do have some things down in the pipeline, but I'll talk about that after the show with you guys. Some things I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
But,
Retro Unlimited Network.
Yeah, that's pretty
YouTube
much it.
channel,
I mean, if you want to follow the old Twitter for the show,
I got
twitter.com/unmovieshow.
Slamcast
You could see some of the old tweets there, if anything.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm over on YouTube at the Gaming Pegasus 187, Twitter Gaming Pegasus 187, Facebook Nick Horaceck, in the Wrestling/MMA Revolution Facebook group. I'm on Xbox Live, Wii U, Instagram, Pegasus 187. I'm all over the place. I was watching some fights over at UGF. It was a athletic fundraiser, so we had a bunch of UGF alumni and wrestlers killing it. TKOs in the first round except for one. My buddy Brock Picard with a rear naked choke. Yeah, just interesting weekend. I'm working this weekend, so I won't be on. I got gameplay again, but that's every Saturday, where it's usually Sean Michelin and Dave whenever his stomach is actually feeling good and not shit. I'm usually on there. Slamcast, I'm all over the place. Brandon, take us out.
Yeah, buddy. So that's it for us. So for myself, you can follow me on the Twitter, Brandon All Hope. Twitch things are coming up soon. Brando Calrissian 420. Fucking hey, man. So you like this podcast, right? You like wrestling, I'm assuming. God bless you if you stuck around and slogged your way through this. This is going to be a marathon one of all of them. So I'm assuming if you like professional wrestling podcasts, you like independent wrestling. So you should go out and support your local independent wrestling promotion. Because no matter where you live in America, I guarantee you, within driving distance, there are people with spandex and a dream. And you could support them just by giving a few of your hard-earned dollars and attending the shows that they're trying to put on. And I guarantee you will be entertained.
Still live their dream or trying to make their dream happen. All that good shit. It's grassroots of the industry, guys.
On that note, yes. Thank you. Thank you. I was trying to get all my usual platitudes out. So, all right, yeah, for our now absent colleague Dave Wade, the Bristol Brawler, for the pride of Florida and Puerto Rico, Miguel Leon, and for the Montana Mauler, because I love alliteration. Let's go home.